What's up, guys? Very exciting video for today. This is the first video I've ever made on the Master League Classic meta. Actually, it's one of the first times I've ever played the Master League Classic meta at all. Before we get into the team, huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. Could not be doing this without you guys. But yeah, let's get right into this video. All right, so Master League Classic, not a league I've really run in. If you look at my Pokemon, the only legendary I have max is Rayquaza and now Groudon. So I did have to spend for this. This team, we have Togekiss in the lead. We've got Groudon as the safe switch and Rhyperior as the closer. This was me kind of anticipating a lot of Dialga teams. All three of these Pokemon have really good play against Dialga. And the backline, of course, deals really well with Melmetal and the other steals. So the point of this team was to kind of counter a lot of those double steal lines that you might be seeing and take care of a lot of those teams that are super weak to Togekiss as well. And there are a lot of teams that are extremely weak to Togekiss. In this first game, you'll see I actually forgot to power up my Groudon all the way, so using an underlevel Groudon and actually ended up losing the game because of it. Enough about that. This is a pretty standard team. We're taking a look at an ABB team, right? And this ABB team is double ground, so if you have that neutral lead, you're going to want to switch out. If you have a dominating lead for Togekiss, you're going to want to stay in. So stuff like Yveltal, for example, you'll want to be staying in. Even Lugia, you'll probably have to stay in. There are a couple big issues with this team. The main issue being, I would say, Ho-Oh. There really isn't that much play versus Ho-Oh at all. It beats every Pokemon on this team. You kind of do have to pressure shields with Togekiss and Rhyperior to get Ho-Oh down. But generally, any Ho-Oh game is going to be a loss. The other issue is going to be Kyogre. If they shield your Earthquake on the switch in, it's very tough to be able to win these games. Togekiss can take down Kyogre with shields, but it does require 2 shields. So at the end of the day, though, Togekiss with 2 shields might be the strongest Pokemon in this entire meta. Because there's just so many Dragon type attacks. So this meta is essentially some Steel types, Dragon types, and then Pokemon with Dragon type moves, and Togekiss beats all the latter. So in this case, we're going to have a Melmetal come in. This is exactly not what you want to see. This Lugia is running Extra Sensory, not even Dragon Tail. So Togekiss doesn't even have that great of a matchup versus it. Groudon versus Lugia, it's not the greatest matchup. You have any matchup where you have to throw Fire Punches instead of Earthquake is a bit of a disaster. In this case, going to no shield whatever. It's probably an Aeroblast. And you're going to get farmed down by this Lugia afterwards. The Melmetal in the lead as well. Togekiss is now locked into an extremely bad matchup, so it's not too bad to let the Togekiss kind of go down here. So we're going to bring this Togekiss back in. We didn't get shield advantage on the switch, which is kind of sad. So we're still in a very tough position. And in this game, we're hoping that 2 shield Rhyperior will be able to kind of win the game here. I'm going to throw this Ancient Power right at the end. Don't want this Lugia to survive. I don't really care too much about pressuring a shield. And we're going to come in with Rhyperior. It's a Dragon Tail Rhyperior. So this is definitely very doable. The problem is that they're going to get to moves fast enough that I wouldn't be able to take them down. So it's just the combination of Groudon and Dragon Tail. Dragon Tail Groudon and Melmetal. And I had to call a bait there to win the game, and unfortunately they didn't bait because they knew that they could just go straight superpower and force the win. This game we have Giratina, so actually you're going to see a lot of good leads with Togekiss, and in comes Sylveon. I probably should have switched a little bit faster, but what I did was I kind of just weakened it enough so that I could win this matchup with Mudslap Rhyperior, just with a shield, and get that nice farm down and convert some of this Sylveon HP into energy. Because Moonblast, it costs a lot of energy. It's going to take a Charmer a very long time to get to it. So we'll see what comes in next. Giratina Origin. We're going to throw a big Rock Wrecker here. Rock Wrecker is a ton of damage. Unfortunately, they shield it, but should be able to get to another one unless they do throw a move, which they do. And this is also fine. Forcing them to throw is great. It allows Togekiss to come in here and kind of deal with Giratina however it wants to, and in comes Togekiss as well. So it looks like it was a double charm team. I really if you see a Sylveon switch in, don't come in with Rhyperior. Come with Groudon. because Rhyperior at least has Rock Wrecker for the Togekiss, but Groudon kind of has to just Fire Punch it down. Whereas Groudon can just Earthquake the Sylveon out of existence. Actually, it is a bit of a wash. This is why Togekiss is much better than Sylveon. Sorry, got a bit off topic there. Not gonna shield Groudon. Gonna save our shields for Togekiss, and I bait here because I know that they're much more scared of Groudon's charge moves than Togekiss's charge moves. Right? So there's no reason for them to save a shield for Togekiss. This time they let the Fire Punch through. We're going to switch to Togekiss and just come in and delete that Giratina Origin. So start picking up some good leads. This team is not that lead dependent, but if you can get a good lead and they don't have like a world beating switch, you're in good hands. All right. So this game we're playing against the Mummy Dust. Here's his Dragon Tail Groudon in the lead, and he's not switching out, which means this is a very good sign. Not even Mudshot Groudon, but Dragon Tail Groudon. Togekiss resists kind of everything. In this case, I throw a Flamethrower. I did not realize Togekiss would lose CMP, but I guess it does make sense, right? It's not a legendary Pokemon. You're not going to win CMP against a lot of different things. I do want to take out this Groudon, though, so I will Flamethrower it then, and we're going to switch right away. In comes Melmetal, and then in comes Giratina Altered. So we did bait the final Pokemon out, and this is a Pokemon that Togekiss can definitely beat. We now know why they didn't switch out of that lead, because they swapped into Melmetal. We'd be able to eliminate the Melmetal and Togekiss could sweep. But the Giratina Altered versus Groudon matchup is not that Giratina Altered favored. In fact, look at these Earthquakes. They absolutely chunk. I have a shield advantage already. And in this case, all I really need to do is get this thing low so my Togekiss can take it down. And once Togekiss takes it down, Rhyperior should be able to deal with the Melmetal no problem, especially with 2 shields. So I'm trying to conserve my shields. We're going to let Groudon go down. I'm with Togekiss, they're going to swap right away. And in comes Rhyperior. And for the Rhyperior versus Melmetal matchup, or the Groudon versus Melmetal matchup, make sure you're not shielding the first one. A lot of the times it's a bait, but even if it's not, you kind of have to let that first superpower through. Once they superpower you, you start dealing an absolute ton of damage with your moves. In this case, I'm going to shield both superpowers. And look how much damage these Mudslaps do. So, that's the kind of position you want to get yourself into. Mummy Dust is not going to give up, even though it looks like I have him pretty well cornered. I'm not throwing any moves. I'm just trying to take down this Giratina Altered ASAP. Speed this process along, and yeah, we're gonna be able to win this game as well. Yeah, there's a lot of teams like this that just do not take into account Togekiss. Togekiss is absolutely running through teams right now. It's insane. Yeah, Dragonite lead. Here we go. In comes Snorlax. I'm gonna go right into Rhyperior. It is a kind of tough decision to do this, especially I probably should have went to Groudon, especially because Groudon actually has a worse matchup versus Dragonite, I would say. At least you can Rock Wreck for something with Rhyperior. In this case, I no shield the first one. Same thing. I don't want them to debuff themselves. I decide to shield the second one. It's another bait. Switch is pretty important here. So I am gonna go for the shield, the double shield, right? I want that Togekiss against that Dragonite, and I'm gonna get this Surf off if the game lets me. Yeah, there was a ton of lag in these sets. I actually had to take out a set in the middle because there was so much lag on this day. I even left a lot of lag in, but the one set was just completely ruined. Rhyperior survives a superpower, a once debuffed superpower, and is able to get off another Surf, take down the Snorlax, and now I have Switch in this scenario, which is perfect because Groudon absolutely stomps Excadrill. They try to make a catch on Dragonite, but I'm going to swap into Togekiss and be able to just charm this Dragonite down. And yeah, just confirming Switch was probably the most important thing here. It's not even a Hurricane one, so Draco Meteor is decently hard. Excadrill going to be able to take out Togekiss before the Flamethrower, but not going to be able to beat the Groudon, that is for sure, in this matchup. Yep, so I believe this set ended up being just a 3-2, but I did not have a fully powered up Groudon for the first game, and I think it ended up costing me. Very easily could have been a 4-1. We're gonna head into this next game. Kyogre lead, so this is where you like to see Kyogre. Kyogre lead, we're actually gonna play to lose this lead on even shields, which might sound a little bit crazy, but if there's a Kyogre in the lead, we're kind of hoping that it's the only counter to Groudon and Rhyperior, right? And if that's the Groudon counter, maybe their backline is weak to ground. If it's weak to ground, it doesn't really matter. In this case, Kyogre's pretty low. I'm gonna let Togekiss go down. Take that serve. We're gonna come in with, we'll see if I'm smart. Nope, Rhyperior. In more recent games, I've been coming with Groudon and getting a bigger farm. So in this case, Dragon Tail Groudon is their best answer to Rhyperior. This is a good sign. This is kind of what you would expect, right? If you have a Kyogre, it's likely that that's their Groudon answer, right? The other thing is I did throw an Ancient Power, and they didn't shield, and they likely won't shield, so you're probably going to be at a shield disadvantage throughout this as well. I've got my shield advantage back, but my Groudon obviously has to deal with what's in the back. I get baited, and in comes Dialga. I probably could have farmed up a little bit more here, gone straight to 100 energy, but we're going to take out that Dialga right away, get this Fire Punch off against the Groudon, and then pressure another Fire Punch against the Groudon, and that's all that matters. Yeah, going to be able to get there before they can get to move to take out both Groudon and Rhyperior. So yeah, that's an example of how to lose the lead and switch and shield advantage out of the lead and still win because of just team comp, right? So see that Kyogre in the lead just played out. All right, we have a Melmetal in the lead here. We're going to swap right away into Groudon. Yeah, it's always into Groudon. It's never into Rhyperior. In comes Giratina Origin. I'm going to Fire Punch bait here. I bait a decent amount with Groudon because Earthquake just hits so hard. People are really, really reluctant to no shield. I'm going to let their first move through. Don't want Ominous Wind boosting me and taking my shield. I'm going to throw an Earthquake here. Hits pretty hard. And then Fire Punch does not KO. So it doesn't really matter that I didn't get there anyways. Ominous Wind is going to take out my Groudon, and I'm going to come back in nice and easy with Togekiss and just farm this Giratina down. You see I have shield advantage now as well. So this is a pretty good scenario to be in with Togekiss, 2 shields, and Rhyperior, 2 shields. In this one, I actually shield the first one because their switch timer is up so they can swap out. In this case, I'm going to go for the Rock Wrecker right away. And they're going to shield. They've charged up to a Focus Blast, but I'm going to no shield. So I kind of need to... Well, I wanted to save a shield for Superpower. And I'm going to Rock Wrecker right here. This is a bit of a risky play. I could have just swapped back into Togekiss instead and got my farm on. But I decided that taking out the full health Yveltal is a little bit more important. Going to be able to get off a Surf here, which is going to be a lot of damage to this Melmetal. Obviously not enough to take it down, but they're going to give up. Realizing that they not only have to take out my Rhyperior, but take out my Togekiss. The other reason I forgot to mention that I stayed with the Rhyperior there is because I'm trying to force them. Melmetal's their final Pokemon. I'm trying to force them to Superpower so my Togekiss has a much better matchup. Okay, here we go. This is Ho-Oh. Yeah, this is a disaster. Ho-Oh is already really tough. You swap into Groudon to kind of make them panic because Rhyperior and Togekiss are your 2 best answers, I guess, to Ho-Oh. And at this point, they swap into Yveltal because they have a good matchup here. So it's good. We're going to get rid of Groudon, and then hopefully we can take energy advantage out of this matchup. Yeah, so definitely not shielding this. We want Togekiss to get a little bit of a farm so we can throw Ancient Power at the Ho-Oh. A 4 times super effective or double super effective Ancient Power, even though it's kind of weak, still hits really hard against Ho-Oh. In this case, I think I'm going to try and get there. 2, 3. I tried to catch a Brave Bird. Unfortunately, I did not. So they're going to throw Earthquake. I'm going to shield up. And I'm just trying to burn shields and get damage on this Ho-Oh because this is tough. I'm going to throw a Surf at this Ho-Oh. Get another shield. Once again, going to shield Rhyperior here. This Earthquake does a little bit too much damage. They're going to come in with Dialga. So we found out exactly why they didn't switch in the first place. And this is a very common thing. You'll find Dialga in the back a lot, just because this entire team kind of checks Dialga, so it's not going to come out for no reason. Togekiss is going to be able to take down this Dialga, and going to be able to throw an Ancient Power here. Hose at 2 Incinerates. There are 3, so they should have been at a Brave Bird. But I think what happened is they overtapped or something, because I'm able to get the Ancient Power off 1 turn before they were 1 Incinerate over a Brave Bird. So they must have been, I don't know, thinking they needed another Incinerate worth of damage or something. I don't know. Either way, ooh, yeah, these games are common too. You see Garchomp lead. That's the worst matchup for Garchomp in the entire game is Togekiss. Very double resist Dragon, flying double resist ground. So I'm going to keep Togekiss for that matchup for sure. Swap out Togekiss for Rhyperior after weakening the Giratina a little bit. I know I'm just going to get farmed anyways. Like, the amount of damage I do to Garchomp does not matter in the slightest. So I actually throw a Surf, my energy at the Giratina, and they shield. They really want Switch, but I'm not going to let them have it at any cost. I don't really care if I have to go that many shields down. It is what it is. It is a bit of a tough situation, though. I'm really hoping they have a Melmetal in the back for the Groudon to kind of handle with a shield down. Because Togekiss should be able to handle this Garchomp, no problem. And yeah, there it is. There's the Melmetal. And it's just a matter of time. I'm just going to build up energy, right? You don't want to throw first. Oh, what am I doing? I throw Earthquake first. You can throw first if you're going straight Earthquake. But what you can do is wait for 2 superpowers and then just throw 1 Fire Punch. In this case, I don't really need it. I just need to take out the Melmetal at all costs. So this is the safer play. And just, I have to be watching my switch timer here. It's almost up. So when mine is up, theirs is up. So I'm going to throw it right before it's up. Make sure they can't escape. Get rid of that Melmetal, and then switch out into my Togekiss and throw this Flamethrower. I don't think I needed to. I don't really think there's anything. I was a bit scared that it might have been like a Fire Blast Garchomp or something like that. That's really the only way they could have won. But yeah, Togekiss able to absolutely shred, as usual. Like, when someone swaps a Giratina O into your Togekiss, you know that you should be saving that health on that Togekiss. Yeah, Giratina O in the lead. They go in with Melmetal. I come with Rhyperior. Ugh. In hindsight, I think you should go in with Groudon if you value a safe matchup. This is decently safe too. You can just no-shield the first superpower. You don't have to shield the second one either, but you're a little bit too close for comfort, in my opinion. So I'm going to throw a Surf here. They're going to shield. And I do want Switch, so I'll shield up the 3rd superpower, and Rhyperior can take Melmetal down after that and end with a Surf. So that was the 1 shield. It's actually not too bad. I would swap Rhyperior in again, just because Groudon has the much better matchups versus the rest of the meta. You can see here is Mamoswine. So what I'm doing in here is I'm staying in. I am trying to get this Mamoswine in Fire Punch range, and then I swap into Groudon, where I can outpace the Mamoswine, get a Fire Punch off. Oh, yeah, and they don't shield, which is questionable. I really think they should have shielded and at least got the avalanche damage. But my Groudon would have been able to take out the Mamoswine, and the Togekiss hopefully would have been able to take out the Giratina after that. In this case, I go for the bait again against Giratina. As soon as it's just Togekiss and 1 other Pokemon and Groudon left, just go for the bait, because no one's saving shields for Togekiss, right? Everyone has enough PTSD from Charm. They don't need the shields. Oh wait, did that really happen? Oh yeah, I lagged in this match, I think, and was not unable to get off my move. Yeah, I had... Oh. I remember this game. Yeah, so this should have been a 5-0. Groudon had a Fire Punch and essentially had an almost had an Earthquake, if not had an Earthquake, and I lagged and couldn't use either charge move at all. If you rewound or if you noticed that while it was happening, that was absolutely awful. But yeah, could have been a very easy 5-0. This time with Melmetal, I'm going into Groudon. This is just a much safer play. You can end with more energy if you want as well. And you don't have to spend that shield. So that first superpower, Deals a decent amount of damage. Second superpower, a bit less. I'm gonna throw a Fire Punch just to see how much damage it does on double debuffed Melmetal. And it's just enough to take it down if you swap fast. So in this case, these Fire Punches, they don't really do too much to Dragonite, but what they do is they keep the pace up so that hopefully it's not getting too much energy. Like it's gonna get the same amount of energy, but I mean like the damage will be enough such that Togekiss can come in and kind of stop it from getting to a Hurricane. Hopefully. But it might still be able to get one. It'll be close. Instead, they go into Dialga and go into Rhyperior. I think Togekiss could have actually just won this game by itself. I don't think I needed to switch into Rhyperior. But I don't mind shielding once and just farming all the way down. So this is the Dialga versus Rhyperior matchup. This is actually really important. So you need to swap fast. But if you have a Dialga, swap into your Togekiss, swap into Rhyperior, one shields, farm all the way down, don't throw a move. It's perfect. It's exactly the matchup. It's the same as, yeah, it's the perfect matchup. You do use a shield, but you can probably get a shield back and more with Rhyperior with all the energy you have. Yeah, so that's the ideal matchup versus Dialga. Dialga switch in. Use Rhyperior. Groudon honestly is not that good against Dialga because I think if they just force it with the 2 shield, they can win or something like that. Unless you go straight Fire Punch, which nobody does. But yeah, so go to Rhyperior right away. So let's see if we have any more of those games. Groudon into Togekiss. Togekiss switch-ins are pretty tough because the backline does not beat them at all. So we're going to stay in and try and go for this fast move denial. Well, I guess I didn't. But my move didn't go through. Sorry, their move didn't go through. I was tapping. I've been doing like a modified fast move denial when I'm trying to get the move off first due to a boost. Where I don't wait to go 1 over, but I just tap my screen afterwards anyways. It works somewhat, I think. In comes Melmetal, and then obviously we have Rhyperior and Groudon for this. I decided to save Groudon. But perhaps going with Groudon would have been a better play. They can actually catch a Surf on their Groudon, and I'm going to swap. I really should have just stayed in with the Rhyperior there. The matchup is not bad, and I've already weakened the Groudon such that an Earthquake doesn't... I don't need to use it where I need to use an Earthquake, but Earthquake is overkill. So instead I'm going to go for the double Fire Punch. It's a bit of a safer play. Yeah, no shield with the Earthquake, which is a bad call. And I lose CMP on my Groudon. My Groudon has 14 attack. Not ideal. But unfortunately, I'm in a terrible situation. You have to no shield. Just hope. Yeah, this game was lost due to a bit of greed from overfarming. I was counting, but I miscounted by 1. And I lost CMP because of IVs. So if you have a 15 IV Groudon, you don't have to worry about that. But I don't. So anyways, Mewtwo lead. Swap into Groudon. Mewtwo is kind of rough for the whole team. Look how much damage that Psy Strike does. But luckily, they threw the Psy Strike at me, right? Yveltal already beats Groudon. They don't need to soften me up. But what this will allow me to do is just get these Fire Punches off, and Togekiss will get a nice big farm. Because Yveltal will still have a decently high amount of HP. Yep, Yveltal will be able to take me out, and Mewtwo doesn't have any energy. So it is a win-win. Yeah, not shielding anything from that. I'm going to save these shields for Psy Strikes for sure. Mewtwo's going to come in. I'm going to immediately swap to Rhyperior because I don't think it's that much better of a matchup. We're going to go for the Ancient Power. If we boost, it's great. And we can kind of snowball from there. But I will not lie to you. I did not boost a single time with Togekiss in 2 days. So I've been boosted on more times by opposing Togekisses, which I've only seen a couple of, than I've actually had boost myself. I'm going to double shield the Togekiss. Hopefully we'll be able to take this Mewtwo down. And it's a Dialga in the back. I'm going to throw the Ancient Power here. Go for the boost, of course. Grab a shield. And just deal as much damage as I can. The thing is with Togekiss and Rhyperior, they both deal a decent amount of damage to Dialga. If Rhyperior comes in now, there's a potential they'll get that move off. The second Iron Head, but Rhyperior does just a little bit too much damage, and it's going to be able to get to a Surf and take out this Mewtwo before it gets to the Psy Strike. Actually, it probably needs more than a Psy Strike at this point. able to win this game as well. That wasn't a very favorable lead either. We had Mewtwo, very neutral lead with, honestly, I'd say it's a bad lead just because it's against most team. Whoa, Home Slice Henry again. He's playing a different team too, Yveltal into Dialga. Yeah, so with the Dialga switch in, we go straight into Rhyperior. And this is the exact matchup exact way you should play this matchup. Once again, Dialga, just farm it down. You're going to end this with 2 Surfs. And Yveltal will for sure come back in this case. It's just a matter of, do I bait or do I just go straight for the Rock Wrecker? I decide baiting doesn't actually give me too much. There's not too much value. So I'm just going to go for the Rock Wrecker. He knows that his Yveltal is trapped in versus my Togekiss afterwards anyways, so he's just going to sacrifice it. No, actually, he shields it right at the end. I guess he thought I was going to bait the first one. And takes on my Rhyperior with a Dark Pulse. Go with Groudon and farm it down, but instead, Home Slice Henry's going to come in with his Melmetal. And the rest is history. So that was essentially as hard of a counter team as you can probably play against. I'm sorry about that, Home Slice Henry. Yeah, we have Togekiss into Yveltal, well, Groudon into Melmetal, and Rhyperior into Dialga. Not too much you can do there, double steal. And once again, a Dialga switch. And these were the Dialgas that I was expecting to see. We just had a Dialga event, right? So another Dialga switch in. Dialga's a great safe swap. Gonna shield it up and just take down this Dialga. Simple as that. Rhyperior just chilling, taking down Dialgas. In comes Giratina. And Rock Wrecker hurts too. So they do shield this one up. But Rhyperior's going to get to a second one. And like I said, we get that shield back and more with Rhyperior after the farm down of Dialga. So Rhyperior takes down a full Dialga, a shield, and essentially half of a Giratina as well. Well, 80%. And once again, Melmetal right in the back. So very similar team to last game. Wait, yeah, very, very similar team to the last game. But it's a very, double steal is a very common team. And this is one of the reasons I decided to run Togekiss, Groudon, or Double Ground in the first place, right? So it does make sense. Yeah, we're going to take another 4 wins this set as well. So you keep rapidly climbing. Yeah, like this team a lot. As I get more legendaries, I'll be able to try more teams, but that might be a ways down the road. This Groudon doesn't even have 14 attack, and I powered it up. I don't have better legendaries than this, unfortunately. The IVs on my legendaries are not very good. For Master League, you kind of do want the hundo. So that's one of the main reasons I haven't been playing a lot of Master League in the past. I do really enjoy the meta. The meta is fun, it's fast, it's no Ultra League, and that's the main reason I'm playing it right now. Also, there's Double Dust right now, so it'd be a shame to not be playing these games. But yeah, that's it for the video. Let me know if you like it, if you like these kinds of videos, Master League content that I haven't really done in a very long time. Yeah, as always, thanks for watching.